From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. We are past the worst of the weather for this week. Now, it still is a little brisk out there for this morning. It's going to be cold once again for tonight, although the frost and freeze potential is going to be much lower. High temperatures warming up throughout this weekend, up around 80 degrees by Monday, and then rain chances coming back around for Tuesday through Thursday of next week. For now, we'll talk about that lower potential for frost and freezes for tonight. First, let's go ahead and take a look at current temperatures out there. And yeah, we're seeing some locations below freezing, 30 degrees for Yakima, pretty close to that for Hanford and Connell. Only 37 in Ellensburg, so we did not get as cold as of yet. We did not get as cold as we were expecting, but we still have a couple more hours to get a little bit cooler. Okay, later today, when it's all said and done, highs only ending up in the 50s and 60s, so a little bit below normal for this time of the year. As we head into this evening, the Dust Devils first pitch at 6:30. See, temperature is going to be in the 40s and 50s throughout the game, so you'll definitely want to bundle up as you're headed out to the stadium. Then for tonight, overnight lows dropping down into the 30s for lower elevations. I'm thinking most of us are below 32 degrees, so again, that potential for frost and freeze is going to go way down. You see our overnight lows, like 56 degrees on Tuesday night. What's up with that? Well, high temperatures around 80 degrees by Monday. We'll talk about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
And right now, Yakima leaders are taking action to protect children from dangerous, even deadly drugs. What the new law does, the penalties behind it, and why some say it should go even further. Plus, 1 year after a major shakeup at the Franklin County Jail, tensions remain. A new report shows improvements, but the sheriff is pushing back. Where things stand this morning as we explain why the debate is far from over. And a major change coming to Washington roads this summer. Speed cameras in work zones will soon come with a price tag for drivers who don't slow down. What all drivers need to know. All that and more just ahead on Good Morning Northwest.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good Friday morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Wendy Redman. Your time is 5:02. We start this morning with a crime alert. Officials arrested a Walla Walla man accused in a serious child abuse case involving a 3-month-old baby. 27-year-old Dallas Granger is facing 5 counts of child assault. Detectives with the Walla Walla Police Department say they were called to the hospital this week after staff reported the baby had serious injuries. Authorities are working with child welfare officials to protect the baby. The investigation is ongoing. Looking to the roads now, where work zone speed cameras in Washington are slowing drivers down, but soon they'll come with a price tag. State officials say speeding in some construction zones has dropped from more than 60% to around 30% during enforcement. The program launched last year and has issued about 65,000 infractions, most of them warnings. But starting July 1st, first-time offenders will face a $125 fine, with repeat violations costing nearly $250. Officials say the goal is safety as work zone crashes and deadly collisions remain a concern. Drivers are urged to slow down and stay alert in construction zones. Now to Yakima, where a new order is targeting a growing concern. The City Council is taking action to crack down on children being exposed to dangerous drugs, passing a new law aimed at holding people accountable. Apple Valley News Now's Austin Reed reports.
It's a big deal for any parent in the community.
Yakima City leaders say it's a step toward protecting the community's most vulnerable. The city just passed a new ordinance making it a gross misdemeanor to expose a child to controlled substances, including fentanyl. Council members say the idea came from Councilwoman Juliet Petrakis, a mother of 5, who wanted to see a stronger consequence in place.
You know, some people would say, why is this not a felony?
Well, exactly. I mean, it really should be a felony. Olympia had an opportunity to make it a felony, and they didn't. And so now we're here, right? So the city is trying to do as much as we can, because we have an issue in our own. I mean, it's all over the state, but in the city of Yakima, you know, we see this all the time.
Under the new law, violators could face up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. City leaders say while some believe this should be a felony, that decision would have to come from state lawmakers.
So I can tell you 2 years ago when we would do outreach, Safe Yakima participates in about 150 outreach events a year throughout the county. And 2 years ago, we would set up a table and we would hand out Narcan and people would be like, nope, don't want it. Now, within a half an hour, we can go through 100 units like that.
Mayor Matt Brown says cases involving children being exposed to drugs are happening far too often, and this new law gives officers a way to step in.
You know, it'll now give our police officers a tool when they're responding to these calls and there's children nearby and different things like that.
And with other communities facing similar issues, Mayor Brown hopes this move sends a message across the state.
At the meeting, actually, Councilman Petrika said it's the #1 leading cause of death in children is being exposed to fentanyl.
That was Austin Reed reporting. City leaders say they're now urging state lawmakers to take it a step further and make child drug exposure a felony statewide. Continuing our coverage in Yakima, where local parks are starting to feel the impacts of budget cuts as weather gets warmer. Park bathrooms are temporarily closed and possibly not reopening this summer. The city of Yakima says it's working to find new funding for the bathrooms as soon as possible, but the city council put it on the back burner in order to focus on keeping Fire Station 92 open. The move has some residents worried no bathrooms could impact more than just the parks.
Then it's putting stressors on potentially businesses, or it's going to mean that people aren't going to use the parks, and it's just a domino effect, obviously. But I think, like my sister said, okay, if the funds aren't there, there's plenty of ways to raise those funds.
The bathroom closures come after millions of dollars in budget cuts for the 2026 fiscal year. Be sure to stay with Good Morning Northwest at 6. We'll have more on what city leaders say it would take to reopen the park bathrooms and why they say the decision isn't final yet. Turning now to a long-running dispute over jail leadership in Franklin County. It's been a year since a contentious vote changed who runs the county jail, moving oversight from Sheriff Jim Raymond to a newly created Department of Corrections. This week, county leaders unveiled their one-year report. As Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen reports, the sheriff is pushing back.
A year ago, a packed and emotional meeting set off a major shift in Franklin County. Commissioners voted to strip jail oversight from Sheriff Jim Raymond, creating a new Department of Corrections after a state audit flagged financial discrepancies. The move sparked immediate backlash.
I don't think you know what you're doing. I think it's a potential risk.
Raymond warned the change would have serious consequences.
And you're also going to lose accreditation in the jail with the maneuvers that you've done today.
In the days that followed, tensions escalated, including disputes over weapons, courthouse security, and control of jail operations. Now, 1 year later, county leaders say the data tells a different story. At this week's workshop, corrections officials presented their one-year progress report. Chief Keelan Harmon says the jail has regained full state accreditation.
And we passed with 100%, not 90, not 80.
Use of force incidents dropped from about 60 a year down to 23. Harmon credits new programs, including inmate tablets, for improving behavior and reducing repeat offenses.
They're giving an outlet, to actually search for things, whether it be like the law library or things with the chaplain, and the list goes on and on. There's so many things on the tablets that they can do.
But Sheriff Raymond says corrections is overstepping.
Look, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is the law enforcement agency of the county. The Franklin County Department of Corrections is not a law enforcement agency, and they need to quit acting like it.
Raymond also addressed concerns about range access and claims that officers were threatened by arrest.
The order that was put out is that if they go qualify out on the range, if they go out there, that they were to be removed. Not arrested, removed.
Raymond maintains the split has created operational challenges and compromised public safety.
We have the county right now not giving patrol cars to the sheriff's office to the point where we now have 2 deputies that don't even have patrol cars, haven't been able to issue commission cards, for example, just because of this back and forth that's going on.
County and corrections leaders say the numbers show measurable improvements, but 1 year after the controversial vote, the disagreement remains unsolved. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Both sides say they're working in the public's best interest. Of course, we'll keep you posted on any new developments. Your time is 5:10 here on your Friday morning. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, from fierce competitors to Hall of Fame honorees, how the rivalry of 3 Yakima Valley coaches helped shape their legacy. And Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth coming back with a look at your First Alert weather forecast, what you can expect on your Friday, and looking ahead to much warmer temperatures coming up in just a few days. Keep it here.
Go get the ball. Go get the ball, Max.
When you're ready for more space to play and more peace and quiet, Numerica has flexible home loans so you can get more for what you love. Find your more with Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
For over 30 years, DuraShine Clean has been the Tri-Cities premier cleaning service. More than just sweeping and mopping, we're your partner for a clean and healthy environment. We protect your brand and improve your company's image. No business is too big or too small for DuraShine Clean. Our teams get the job done right for you. Need to sparkle? Call us today for a free quote and let us help your business shine. At DuraShine Clean, we keep it clean.
Wish your home looked something like this or this. How about this? Well, wish no more, because getting the home of your dreams is easy during the final days of the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Right now, every sofa, dining set, and bed is on sale, like the Gunsmoke bed for only $14 a month, the Doria sofa at just $20 a month, or the Gramercy Park dining set for only $17 a month. Plus, save up to $500 on Hibernation adjustable base and mattress sets. But hurry, the home makeover sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi.
It's the mother of all giveaways, with one lucky viewer winning awesome gifts from Revive Wellness and Adore Formal Wear and Bridal Boutique. Enter to win each day on the contest page at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. And to all you moms, happy Mother's Day.
The wedding was the true fairy tale, but unfortunately, at the start of our fairy tale is when our nightmare began.
A shocking event happens that changes everything.
I had the gun pointed at my forehead.
This is betrayal.
Sunday night on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
The NBA playoffs begin Saturday on ESPN and ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We've already had one brush up with 80 degrees thus far this spring. Looks like we got another one coming around the bend by Monday. But first, no 80s in sight for today or the next 24 hours, as at our warmest, fingers crossed we can make it up to 60 in the Yakima Valley. But in spite of that, plenty of sunshine. It's going to be a gorgeous day to be outside. So let's take you on that zone-by-zone tour of this Friday forecast. We start off in the Cascades, where we're going to be in the 40s and 50s, mostly cloudy skies, but mostly clear skies. In the Kittitas Valley, 57 for Ellensburg. For the Yakima Valley, like I said, we'll be lucky to hit 60, 61 degrees. Then for the Lower Columbia Basin, we'll also end up probably in the low 60s. Then for the Blue Foothills, mid to upper 50s. And finally for the Blue Mountains, partly cloudy skies We'll have highs that'll be in the 40s and 50s. Wind gust, I mean, it might be a little bit breezy for some of us for today, but certainly not the winds that we saw yesterday. Okay. Like I said, high temperatures around 80 by the time we get to Monday. Officially, I'm going with 79 in the Yakima Valley, but this would be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That is going to be short-lived, though, as we'll drop things off back into the upper 60s to low 70s by next Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to coincide with rain chances returning, and yes, another round of winds to talk about. We'll talk about all that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Turning to sports this morning, 3 coaches from the Yakima Valley are being inducted into the Washington Girls Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable tells us the history behind the rivals turned into fellow inductees.
LaSalle, Granger, and Zillah High Schools. 3 powerhouse girls basketball programs within 25 miles of each other. A former coach from each school has been inducted into the Washington State Girls Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Let's start with LaSalle's Alyssa Goins. She spent her nearly 20-year coaching career at LaSalle, winning 2 state championships as a head coach.
Just really honored and humbled. I mean, I know that it's my name that gets put on there as a Hall of Fame coach, but it's really this program. It's the kids who made up the program.
Next, there's Andy Affolter, brother of Kennewick's Hall of Fame football coach Randy, and son of another legendary coach, Andy Sr. Andy comes from a coaching family. He got his start with boys basketball at Mabton High School and then moved to girls basketball at Granger.
I think one reason why I did have a lot of success in Granger with the girls program is I didn't really coach them any differently. I was lucky in the years I took a break, I coached both middle school boys and middle school girls, and I just coached them both the same. So I didn't coach girls basketball, I just coached basketball played by girls.
And the third coach joining the Hall of Fame is the late Brandy Valadez, who passed away in 2025 after a long battle with cancer. She made 9 trips to the state tournament in her 13 years coaching her alma mater. Mario Mengarelli, the boys coach at Zillah, knew Brandy since she was 7 years old.
Just watching what she dedicated to her teams and just the work you put in to have a successful team and be a positive role model for young athletes, I think she's awesome.
And these 3 coaches were more often than not the ones to end each other's seasons in the playoffs each year.
I'm super honored and humbled to be included with them. Brandy Valdez over at Zillah, we had just years and years of fun, competitive rivalry type games.
You know, I lost a lot of sleep because of Alyssa, and I lost a lot of sleep because of Brandy, because of their talent, and I knew they were going to be prepared.
After years of sitting next to one another in the standings, their names will sit next to each other on an exclusive list in the Hall of Fame. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
What a cool story. The trio of coaches will be inducted into the Hall of Fame during a ceremony Saturday, May 9th at Gonzaga Prep in Spokane. Your time is 5:18. Coming up, Josh coming back with a look at your weather forecast. This is a live look from Yakima. What you can expect on your Friday, and why are we talking about rain and wind chances again? Josh is going to detail that when we come back.
When your family feels protected under our roof, they're free to dream. And you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Customize what you pay with Drive My Way. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office on Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
The little pill with a big story to tell.
Jardiance plays a role in my story, too. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well.
with Jardiance, a once daily pill that helps lower my A1C. It works 24/7 in the body to flush out some sugar.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death, too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardiance is a little pill with a big story to tell. And if you ask me, it's pretty swell. Action!
Slow down, look around, feel at home. Kittitas County invites you to experience the heart of small-town life. From sunrise coffee stops and welcoming Main Street stays to scenic trails, family-owned restaurants, local wineries, hometown breweries, handcrafted shops, and more. Plan your small-town getaway with the Love Local Passport, a curated guide to the best of Kittitas County. Download the Passport, plan your stay for a true small-town escape at centralwashingtonoutdoor.com.
When your family feels protected under our roof, they're free to dream. And you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Customize what you pay with Drive My Way. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Mariners, Rangers, first pitch at 6:40 tonight on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, we do have rain chances coming back into the picture for Tuesday through Thursday of next week. But in the meantime, this high pressure is going to keep us nice and dry, and temperatures will go up as we head into the weekend, peaking around 80 degrees by Monday. But there are storm systems looming off in the Pacific that eventually will be our problem. So here are those rain chances for the Tri-Cities Tuesday through Thursday. For us, just 20 to 40% chances for now, but these could, I have a feeling these might trend up as we get closer and closer to the day up. So here are some of the rainfall totals we're anticipating from 5 p.m. on Tuesday to 5 in the morning next Thursday. You see lower elevations. It's trending a little bit wetter now for the lower Columbia Basin, 0.2 to 0.3 inches of rainfall. We're thinking over ½ inch of rainfall for the Blue Foothills, and then obviously much more moisture, especially for the Blue Mountains. But in terms of snowfall, this is what we really need. We're just not going to get that much of it. At least that's the way it looks for now. 5 p.m. on Tuesday to 5 a.m. next Thursday. Maybe a couple inches of snow for Oregon 204 at Tollgate. You know, like big whoop at this point. Okay, the wind gusts coming back for Wednesday. Looks like across the map they'll gust anywhere between 25 to 45 miles per hour. So this is going to be associated with that storm system. It's going to bring up rain chances. It's going to drop down temperatures. It's going to bring up wind gusts. Once again, the poor Kittitas Valley seeing the highest gust up around 45 miles per hour. And obviously that is not going to help out with those pollen counts that are going to be in the high category for today and tomorrow, the medium high category for Sunday and Monday, and then back up into the high category for Tuesday. So in general, medium to high pollen counts over the next 5 days. Those top allergens continue to be alder, birch, and juniper. So if that applies to you, have the allergy meds on standby. Okay, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Another cool day on Friday, so for today, but noticeably warmer as we head into the weekend. In Yakima, highs to around 80 by Monday, then cooler and wetter again next week. In Ellensburg, tracking the potential for more wind gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour by next Wednesday, like we were just talking about. Not enough to be an alert day for now, but we'll keep a close eye on things. For Hermiston, dry and warmer through Monday, and then a pattern flipperoo again by Tuesday. And finally, for Walla Walla, also tracking warmer and drier weather over the next 4 days, then pretty good chances for showers, maybe even some thunderstorms by next week.
Thank you, Josh. It is now 5:23. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest.
Never happened before in my 12 years of flying.
An historic voice silent for decades, being heard once again. Researchers revive a rare recording of Amelia Earhart sharing a heart-pounding moment from her flight. And the strange investigation underway after a mysterious chunk of ice crashes right into a house. We're heading to the skies for today's Take a Look at This right after.
Stop waiting for online orders. Rock Auto Parts ship in a few hours, 24 hours a day. On the carrier you choose, with tracking at each step.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Confidence starts with feeling your best. At Revive Wellness in Kennewick, we combine medical expertise with a calm, elevated experience. With our direct primary care model, you get 24-hour access to your provider, same-day appointments, no wait time, and personalized care to fit your needs. Revive Wellness, care that builds confidence from the inside out. Book now at revivewellnessllc.net.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox. All Skechers men's and women's shoes are just $49.99 a pair. Jumbo 6-pack Wave petunias are sale priced at $5.99. Filthy Rich bark mulch and Bi-Mart bagged soils are $6.99 each. In automotive, find Mobil One's 5-quart full synthetic oil, sale priced at $22.99. And stock up on pantry favorites, including Seattle's Best Coffee for just $5.99. Plus, find even more savings in store with our extra member discounts only at Bi-Mart.
Even on an antidepressant, there are days I feel stuck in my head. Depression symptoms like lack of interest and negative thoughts can hold me back. I wanted to break through. I asked about Vraylar. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant significantly reduces overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone.
Not for elderly with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants may increase these in those under 25. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may not go away. High blood sugar may lead to coma or death. Weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, uncontrolled movements, tremors, feeling like you need to move, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar, breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
April is Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. Remember to inspect your feet daily for injuries and other ailments. There's more information at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jerry Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
On draft night, plans become reality. The NFL Draft, April 23rd through 25th.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Time to check this out. A piece of history nearly a century old is getting a second life and letting us hear one of aviation's most iconic voices in a whole new way.
And from a historic discovery to a modern-day mystery, a strange object falling from the sky is raising questions in California. With a look at both stories this morning, here's Patrick Cornell with today's Take a Look at This.
A nearly 100-year-old recording of famed aviator Amelia Earhart has been revived.
Something happened which has never happened before in my 12 years of flying.
It's a snippet from a speech she gave in London on May 22, 1932, broadcast to New York, detailing a heart-pounding moment while flying solo across the Atlantic on a 15-hour flight.
That is, the altimeter, the instrument required to register altitude, height above ground, failure.
That crackled clip included in 78 RPM record format as a trinket in the back of Earhart's book, The Fun of It, which released 5 years before her infamous disappearance.
The hand swung around the dial in such a manner that I knew it was out of commission for the rest of the night.
94 years later, researchers at the Library of Congress found an original record. Made of cheap plastic and cardboard, the antique needed the touch of specialized equipment dubbed Irene, which uses a focal probe to map the record's grooves, creating a digital format that anyone can now listen to on the library's website. Transitioning from history to mystery, officials in Los Angeles County are asking, what exactly is this foul-smelling chunk of ice that seemingly smashed through the roof of a local home? Pictures provided by the county supervisor show the aftermath of the aerial invader's impact. A resident who was home at the time says he heard the explosion but was not hurt, finding the yellow-tinged dirty ice on the couch. In a letter to the FAA, County Supervisor Janice Hahn says the homeowner believes an airplane was overhead at the time the object crash-landed. She's asking for a thorough investigation. For Take a Look at This grossness, I'm Patrick Cornell.
The detail of that it smells.
Yeah, it looks like that big chunky yellow snow that they keep telling us to not eat. So.
Oh my gosh, I wonder what in the world happened. Can you imagine being in your house and then just all of a sudden a smelly piece of ice?
Yeah, I hope my homeowner's insurance covers ice chunks falling from the sky.
Yeah, I don't think that that's detailed in there.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how that works, but oh my goodness. That is very random. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of that story, should they ever find out. Well, your time is 5:29. Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, Kennewick leaders are looking to keep momentum going at Vista Field. A proposed extension could shape development for years to come. Why they say the move is critical for progress and what it could mean for local businesses. Plus, there's more than just flowers at one plant sale this morning. Students are also growing skills and raising money for their future. Coming up, where you can go to check it out. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, outages at Blue Sky. The platform says a denial of service attack is to blame. It disrupted feeds, notifications, and threads, and intermittent issues continued through the night. Blue Sky says there's no evidence of unauthorized access to users' private data. Next, a shocker from Netflix. Co-founder Reed Hastings announced he's leaving the company he founded 29 years ago. At that time, Netflix was a DVD delivery service. Hastings helped make it a streaming service in 2007. Netflix stock fell slightly after the announcement. Finally, anyone hoping to see a Call of Duty movie is going to need some patience. The company behind the game says an adaptation will hit theaters June 30th, 2028. No word yet on the cast, but producers of Yellowstone and Friday Night Lights are involved. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flight. Have a great day.
Why pay more for fewer days of fragrance from your plug-in? Switch to Airwick Plug-ins and Fragrances for longer-lasting noticeable scent and the best value per day. Some plug-ins only last 50 days per refill, while Airwick refills deliver fragrance for up to 70 days. Airwick is infused with pure essential oils and features smart fragrance technology to keep your home inviting from the moment you plug it in. For longer-lasting noticeable scent and the best value per day, switch to Airwick Plug-ins and Fragrances. Brand power helping you buy better.
Broken! Ever since I started wearing hands-free Glide Step Skechers Sleep-ins, my other shoes are useless. With Skechers Sleep-ins, I just step in and they're on. Try Skechers Sleep-ins.
When congestion has you feeling off, turn on new Afrin Saline, made with seawater, and feel the rush of extra strength daily relief.
Wow.
Afrin Saline. Now, the wow is real every day.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning and happy Friday. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Wendy Redman. Your time is 5:32. All right, before you get out the door this morning, we need to check in with Josh to see what the weather's going to be like today, and then maybe a sneak peek for what's ahead, right, Josh?
I know everyone's looking at this one right here in the center. Highs warming up to around 80 degrees by Monday. First, we got to get through this one, though, as we do have that potential for frost and freeze for tonight, but that potential is going to be much lower as opposed to what it was for last night. And then also rain chances picking up into next week. That's going to bring temperatures back down and another round of winds. But first, let's talk about just how cold it's going to be for tonight. Before we do that, we'll talk about how cold it is for this morning. We're at 30 for Sunnyside, 38 for the Tri-Cities, 41 for Walla Walla. Not as cold as we were expecting it to be, but we still have another hour and a half for these temperatures to go down. And as I said that, the temperature dropped down to 30 in Yakima. Okay, today's high is going to end up in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations. Pretty normal, if not a little bit below average for this time of the year. We got some Dust Devils baseball happening tonight at Giza Stadium. First pitch at 6:30. Someone is throwing out the first pitch there for tonight, but those temperatures throughout the game are going to be in the 40s and 50s, so you will want to bundle up. And then when it's all said and done for tonight, overnight lows dropping down into the 30s, but most of us are above 32 degrees, so that's really going to curb that frost and freeze potential. You see low temperatures getting up into the mid to upper 40s in the Yakima Valley by next Monday and Tuesday night. That's going to coincide with temperatures going way up. We'll talk about that. Also, a little preview of your climate report. That's going to be coming up a little bit later in the show.
Sounds good, Josh. We begin this half hour of news Looking to local businesses and major development projects in Kennewick, the Port is working with the city to extend an agreement that helps guide development at Vista Field. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with the Port of Kennewick CEO about what this means for the future of the project.
The Port of Kennewick is working to extend a development agreement with the City of Kennewick. Port officials say the agreement lays out rules and expectations for how Vista Field is built out, including road standards, infrastructure, and overall design. They say the agreement, first put in place in 2018, helps ensure consistency across the project while giving developers a clear understanding of what's expected before they begin building. Now, the Port is looking to extend that agreement for another 10 years, saying it will provide certainty for developers and help streamline the process for large-scale projects. According to Port CEO Tim Arnzen, the agreement itself is based heavily on community input.
It's what the community told us they think is important through the master plan. So the development agreement is just simply the underpinnings of that master plan where the Port and the city say for the 10-year period, these will be the standards.
Arnzen says that nearby businesses also support the agreement as it gives them confidence in how Vista Field will develop.
A number of the business owners nearby that they like the standards because they know what their neighbors, the people that are in Vista Field, are going to do. For example, with the convention center expansion and the new hotel going in, the hotel owners have told me that, Tim, we really want to know what Vista Field is going to look like because we're building to high standards.
Arnzen says extending the agreement is especially important after several delays slowed progress on the project.
We lost 3 years with COVID because a lot of the building and so forth slowed down. And then with our PFAS that we have, that's cost us about a year. So you say out of an 8-year agreement, we only got 4 operative years out of it. So that's another good reason to request that it be extended for 10.
Officials tell me that a development agreement is absolutely crucial between the Port and the city, as without that development agreement, hiccups could arise from builders and future developers.
For a larger development project that would come in, then those people would have to go to the city and negotiate things like, okay, what is this project going to do to traffic? Does the person that buys a property from the Port say, well, now we've got to go do a traffic study to show the city that we're going to put X number of vehicles on the streets?
The Port of Kennewick says extending the agreement will help keep development moving forward at Vista Field while maintaining consistency and efficiency. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
The Kennewick City Council is expected to take a final vote on the agreement extension later this month. Looking ahead today to a local event helping to grow more than just plants. Spring planting season is here, but one plant sale in Pasco is doing more than just helping people spruce up their gardens. Students in the Professional Agriculture Student Organization, also known as PAS, are selling bedding plants, hanging baskets, and vegetable starts grown right on campus. But this isn't just about flowers, it's about funding, hands-on learning, and future careers in agriculture. The sale runs through tomorrow from 9 to 1 at the CBC campus greenhouse, and it's open to the public. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, potential is turning into production for a key Kraken player. A new team and new role now helping them thrive. What's behind the success of this season in this week's Kraken Player Profile. And of course, Josh coming back with a look at your Friday forecast. Here's a live look from the Dust Devils Stadium out in Pasco, where they will be having a game tonight. He gets us all set for Friday and the weekend ahead after this.
This newscast sponsored by Multicare Yakima Memorial Hospital. Excellence you can trust.
The wedding was a true fairy tale, but unfortunately, at the start of our fairy tale is when our nightmare began.
A shocking event happens that changes everything.
I had the gun pointed at my forehead.
This is betrayal.
Sunday night on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's time for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. Your chance to get a great haircut at a limited time price. Save time when you check in on our app. But hurry, the sale ends soon. The Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
When choosing the right gear to cut, trim, or mow your yard, Ace has all the power you need to get the job done right. Because gas or battery, your local Ace is the destination with the best power brands all under one roof, like Steel, Ego, Milwaukee, Craftsman, and Toro. And with free assembly and delivery, or ready for pickup in just 15 minutes, conquering your outdoor projects has never been easier. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
If you want more miles per gallon and less pain at the pump, check out Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker, featuring the award-winning Civic Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, and Accord Hybrid. So whether it's a trip across country for vacation or just across town for practice, Honda helps make your ride more affordable. And right now, well-qualified buyers can lease CR-V Hybrid for $289 a month or get 2.49% APR financing. For deals and details, see your Southeastern Washington Honda dealer.
Every home starts with a move. Not just the one to a new address, but the moves along the way. The choices, the negotiations. In those moments, certainty matters. That's why Windermere Group 1 agents are trained, supported, and prepared for every step. Because when it's time to move, you should be sure you're making the right one. Windermere Group 1. Confidence in every move.
How's it look so far?
Great.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Times and places all in who you share them with. Joy,
I got in.
who you share it with.
This is a great view, so you're all my place.
Who you share it with.
It's time for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. Your chance to get a great haircut at a limited time price. Save time when you check in on our app. But hurry, the sale ends soon. The Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The wedding was a true fairy tale, but unfortunately, at the start of our fairy tale is when our nightmare began.
A shocking event happens that changes everything.
I had the gun pointed at my forehead.
This is betrayal.
Sunday night on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
All right, it is that time of the week again. Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's talk some of those climate numbers. We start off with the seasonal rainfall surpluses and deficits we've been tracking since October 1st of last year. Still pretty good surpluses for the Kittitas Valley, especially in the lower Columbia Basin. Still tracking some deficits for the Yakima Valley, for the Bluefoot Hills of Umatilla County, and we're just barely breaking even right now for the Bluefoot Hills of Walla Walla County. Okay, now if we tabulated all the water that's actually in the reservoirs right now in the Yakima Basin, we have 38% more than we typically would for an April 16th or 17th. So this is an excellent number, but the monkey's wrench in all that is that we are banking on the snowpack melt to eventually replenish our reservoir levels, and we just don't have the snowpack to do that right now, as we have 57% less snow than normal in the Yakima Basin. So that is a very bad number, and then the numbers are even worse in the blues. As for McKay Dam, we're already sitting at 32% less water than typical for this time of the year, and we just don't have any snowpack to save us. The snowpack situation here actually much worse, as we have 75% less than we typically would for this time of the year. So definitely some concerning numbers. We'll continue to track these as we head deeper and deeper into spring and eventually into summer. Very quickly, high temperatures getting up to around 80 degrees by Monday. Now for today, we're only going to be in the 50s and 60s. A beautiful day out there, but look at that. Monday, bingo, will be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. The temperature is going down once again as rain chances come back up. We'll talk about those coming up in a few minutes.
Talking hockey this morning. One player's story is showing what happens when patience finally pays off at the highest level. For Kaapo Kakko, leaving New York wasn't just a trade. It was a chance to finally unlock his elite potential. Our very own Jake Gable has a look at his transition from Madison Square Garden to the Emerald City.
The Kraken Player Profile, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
For years, Kaapo Kakko carried the weight of being a number 2 overall pick for the New York Rangers. A natural playmaker with a rare international pedigree, having won triple gold, the Finnish winger was always waiting for the right fit. That fit arrived on December 18th, 2024, when he was traded to the Seattle Kraken. In the Pacific Northwest, Kakko finally found his rhythm. He used his 6'3" frame and elite hockey IQ to carve out a career-best 44-point season, proving he could be more than just a defensive, reliable forward. His resurgence earned him a 3-year, $13.5 million extension in the summer of 2025, cementing him as a pillar of the Kraken's future. Though a preseason hand injury briefly sidelined him, Kakko's game remains defined by a quiet composure. He doesn't play with a sense of rush. He simply reads the ice, protects the puck in the tightest spaces, and waits for the perfect moment to strike. In Seattle, the Finnish phenom is finally turning potential into production. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
The Kraken take on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight at 7 on My Network TV, channel 35.5 in Yakima and 42.5 in the Tri-Cities. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, we have your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. Your time is 5:45. Here's a live look at Ellensburg. What kind of weather can you expect for your Friday? And Josh is talking about rain chances again. Find out when rain could return to your area when we return.
Slow down, look around, and let your creative side lead the way. Experience small town life in Ellensburg, Washington. From crafted coffee and inspiring Main Street stays, to inventive cuisine, local wine, craft beer, locally curated shops, outdoor art, galleries, and the artists who shape this community. Get inspired and plan your creative escape with the Love Local Passport, a curated guide to Ellensburg's best. Download the Passport to plan your stay where creativity lives everywhere at myellensburg.com.
Ugh, I need new wipers. RockAuto.com. That was easy. That was fast.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
The little pill with a big story to tell.
Jardiance plays a role in my story, too. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well with Jardiance, a once-daily pill that helps lower my A1C. It works 24/7 in the body to flush out some sugar.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death, too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardiance is a little pill with a big story to tell. And if you ask me, it's pretty swell. Action!
Your special day starts with the one dress that makes everything else disappear. Adore Formal Wear and Bridal Boutique in Pasco carries wedding gowns, prom dresses, quinceañera gowns, something for every size, every style, every budget. The dress that was made for you shouldn't feel out of reach. Find yours at shopadoreformalwear.com.
BOGO time is back at Vance, and by popular demand, this incredible offer has been extended through April. Right now, when you buy a new AC, the All-Star team at Vance will throw in a furnace for free. Call us today, because this offer won't last. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance today. Vance Heating, AC, and Electric.
First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee, Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, rain chances going to come back for next Tuesday through Thursday. That's going to bring down temperatures, and that will bring up wind gusts. But first, let's show you why this is happening. We have this area of high pressure that is just going to stay situated over the Pacific Northwest for the next 4-ish days or so. That's going to keep us dry. That's going to make us trend warmer. But then eventually, one of these storm systems off in the Pacific is going to shake things up. That's going to bring those rain chances back up. So here's what that'll look like in the Yakima Valley, at least what we're thinking 5 to 7 days out. For now, just 10 to 20% chances of rain for Tuesday through Thursday. But again, that is an evolving situation. For now, here's what we're thinking with some of the rainfall totals. 5 p.m. on Tuesday to 5 a.m. Next Thursday, we're thinking 0.2 to 0.3 inches of rainfall for the basin. Around a half an inch, if not a little bit more, for the Blue Foothills. The Blues are definitely going to see the most moisture from this round. But in terms of snowfall, again, same time frame. We're just not thinking there's going to be that much at all, which is a big time bummer because we just showed you how badly we need the snowfall up in the mountains. Okay, like I said, as the storm system passes, temperatures going down, rain chances going up, and wind gusts going up. We'll have another round of strong winds returning by Wednesday. And once again, it's going to be the Kittitas Valley that's going to see the brunt of the impacts. Peak gusts between 40 to 45 miles per hour, at least for now. These numbers are definitely subject to change. Okay, and with the wind gusts going up, that means that pollen's going to be flying around in the air. So pollen counts are going to stay in that medium to high territory over the next 5 days, specifically in the high territory for today, tomorrow. Then it looks like by next Tuesday, we're going to get back up into the double-digit range. The top allergens continue to be alder, birch, and juniper. If that applies to you, have the allergy medications on standby. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Another cool day on Friday, but noticeably warmer this weekend. And Yakima highs to around 80 by Monday, then cooler and wetter again next week. In Ellensburg, tracking the potential for more wind gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour by next Wednesday. In Hermiston, dry and warmer through Monday, then a pattern flip again by Tuesday. And finally, for Walla Walla, also tracking warmer and drier weather over the next 4 days, then pretty good chances for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms in the mix by next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
Let's get you to that morning sprint here at 5:51. Here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. A Walla Walla man is behind bars, accused in a serious child abuse case involving a 3-month-old. Police say the infant was brought to the hospital with significant injuries, prompting an immediate investigation. Detectives arrested 27-year-old Dallas Granger, who is now facing 5 counts of child assault. Authorities say the investigation is still ongoing as they continue working with child welfare officials to ensure the baby's safety. Work zone speed cameras across Washington are slowing drivers down, but soon those warnings will come with a fine. State officials say speeding in construction zones has dropped significantly since the program began. So far, about 65,000 infractions have been issued, most as warnings. But starting July 1st, first-time offenders will face a $125 fine, with repeat violations costing even more as officials push for safer roads. Yakima City leaders are taking action to protect children from dangerous drug exposure. A new ordinance now makes it a gross misdemeanor to expose a child to controlled substances involving fentanyl. Violators could face up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. City leaders say cases involving children and drugs are happening far too often, and they hope this move pushes the state to adopt even stricter laws. 1 year after a major shakeup at the Franklin County Jail, tensions are still running high. A new report shows the jail regained full accreditation and reduced use of force incidents. But Sheriff Raymond continues to push back, saying the changes have created operational challenges and safety concerns. County leaders say the numbers show progress, but the disagreement between both sides remains unresolved. Looking ahead today, spring planting season is here, and students in Pasco are putting their skills to work. The agriculture program is hosting a plant sale featuring flowers, vegetables, and hanging baskets, all grown right on campus. The event helps fund hands-on learning and supports future careers in agriculture. The sale runs today from 9 to 1 and is open to the public, offering a chance to support students while getting ready for the season. Topping your national headlines this morning, the war in Iran could hinder your plans for June, July, and August. Due to the stalemate in the Strait of Hormuz, jet fuel supplies are down, and that has some airlines making adjustments. The 2026 summer travel season could be full of headaches. Jet fuel prices have skyrocketed since military action against Iran began, and travelers are going to be picking up part of that tab. The International Energy Agency says Europe has roughly 6 weeks of jet fuel on hand, and officials say if oil supplies remain stuck in the Strait of Hormuz, some planes could be grounded. Analysts say it may be a while before things return to normal. In business headlines, Starbucks is testing a new AI-powered feature that suggests drinks based on how you're feeling. The tool, now in beta inside ChatGPT, lets users ask for recommendations based on mood, cravings, or even a photo. It's one of the first examples of a major restaurant chain using AI to shape how customers decide what to order. The move reflects a broader push toward personalization, but also raises some questions about how much consumers rely on AI to make everyday decisions. In science news, NASA's Artemis II crew is now reflecting on a mission they say changed how they see everything. After traveling more than 250,000 miles from Earth and circling the moon, the astronauts describe a powerful sense of perspective, feeling both incredibly small and deeply connected as a crew. They witnessed a total solar eclipse from beyond the moon, calling the moment otherworldly and difficult to comprehend. Back on Earth, they're also recalling the intensity of re-entry, comparing it to a brief but jarring free fall. Altogether, the crew says the mission wasn't just about science, but about sharing a moment that brings humanity together. Trending this morning, police in the Des Moines, Iowa area found themselves in pursuit of a pretty unusual suspect on Thursday. Check it out.
That's right, the perp, a runaway dog named Libby. Authorities say Libby sparked a traffic backup on Interstate 235 after darting across multiple lanes, leading officers and animal rescue crews on a high-speed chase.
Oh my goodness. At times, crews tried to catch up on foot, as you see here, as that clever canine kept weaving through traffic, keeping everyone on their toes. But in the end, Libby managed to outsmart the pursuit and made her own way home safely. Yeah, it's unclear if she will face any prosecution. It was written in there for me. I didn't come up with that on my own.
But your delivery was really good.
I gave it a little pause. Speaking of the pause, the white paws actually kind of were helping me keep track of little Libby out there. That was good that she has those little white shoes, so to speak.
The little boots.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
It's honestly a miracle that she wasn't hurt running across all those lanes of traffic. It's a miracle that it didn't cause a wreck. So, crisis averted that time.
Oh, that's for sure. Your time is 5:57. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest at 6 o'clock. The Pasco School District is asking voters to take another look at a key funding levy that narrowly failed last time around. It's now back on the April ballot, and this morning, leaders explain what's at stake for students. Plus, a rare piece of Titanic history is heading to auction this weekend. It's believed to be the only survivor's life jacket ever to be put up for sale. We'll see why collectors are watching this one closely.
And we're tracking a beautiful Friday forecast. It's a little bit on the cooler side for today, but if you like 80s, we got them in the forecast. Find out when that happens coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.